Hey, welcome back to my channel. My name is Megan and I'm a professional writer, published author, and an avid bookworm. In today's video, I'm reviewing the top 5 regrets of the dying, a life transformed by the dearly departing by Bronnie Ware. This was recommended by a friend and I've also heard of it before, so I was super excited to read it. This book is actually based on a blog post that the author wrote back in 2009. Within 3 years, it had been read by 8 million people, and she decided to turn it into a full-blown book. In this memoir, the author details her experience as a caregiver for people who are at the end of their lives. During her many conversations with these people, she learns all about some of their biggest life lessons and their regrets. The top 5 are: I wish I'd had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. I wish I hadn't worked so hard. I wish I'd had the courage to express my feelings. I wish I had stayed in touch with my friends. And I wish that I had let myself be happier. In between sharing these lessons, she also weaves in personal anecdotes from her own travels and adventures, and she's lived a really interesting life. The author used to work in the banking industry, but that just didn't bring her any joy. For part of her life, she didn't really like to sit still, so she was always on the move and even living in her truck. She shares her musical aspirations as a singer-songwriter and in general, her journey trying to find a sense of purpose and fulfillment. So that's a brief summary of the top 5 regrets of the dying. Here's how I felt about it. I started this book in the bathtub one night, and in that one sitting, I cried twice. I was incredibly overwhelmed by how strongly these individuals felt looking back on their lives at the end of it all and wishing they had done things differently. That really hit me. I also liked reading about the author's personal life. For a while, she really lived life on the edge, which has its pros and cons. I also found a lot of inspiration in how compassionate she seems. There were ample opportunities for her to judge the people that she came across, like her clients who maybe shared mistakes they had made, and sometimes pretty big mistakes, and even their relatives who maybe weren't dealing with their death in a healthy way, or other caregivers who weren't as compassionate as she was. So there were a lot of good reminders in this book to be kind, forgive, and make the most of every single moment because tomorrow's never guaranteed. What I didn't like: I almost wish she had talked more about her clients and less about her own life, which I know sounds mean, but I don't mean it that way. Every time she'd segue into a personal story, I'd think, all right, here it goes. Those parts of the book were good, but they just kind of dragged on sometimes, especially the ending. In a way, it started to feel like I was reading someone's journal. Also, I felt like this book didn't go through any edits, but she does say at the very beginning of the version that I read on Kindle, she said that because she found success so quickly, the version that I was reading was released very quickly. She literally prefaces the book with that, so it hadn't yet been tidied up. I knew what to expect, but still, it did kind of affect the experience of reading it. Overall, I gave this 3 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. Even though I didn't fall in love with this book, there was a lot of good in it, and it was a quick read, so I think it's worth taking a look. Or if you don't want to commit to the full book, I found plenty of summaries online that very nicely encapsulate the highlights of the book. That's it for today. If you haven't yet, be sure to check out my last review where I talk about Hello Beautiful by Anne Napolitano. The link to that video is in the description below. Give this video a thumbs up before you go, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time.